So let's talk about some very important rules to follow when setting up a successful nonprofit in your state and why I say you shouldn't pay someone to incorporate for you. So, rule number one, transparency. Listen to me as I talk about why transparency is key to running a successful nonprofit.
Because if you're starting a nonprofit and really any business for profit, what have you, you really need to be transparent and get very comfortable with being transparent. And see, I'm not even looking at the right camera. So here we go. But you definitely need to become comfortable with being transparent because as a nonprofit, you're going to have to be able to show your paperwork. If someone walks in your office and they want to see your paperwork, doesn't have to be the IRS, it could be a donor. They want to know what's going on. You are required to have that information available for them to see. So let's get comfortable with being transparent. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes as long as we learn from those mistakes. And that's the most important thing.
Rule number two is you absolutely will need help. So, get comfortable with asking for help.
It takes donations. It takes volunteers consistently. It takes administrative staff. You would be surprised at the administrative work that goes into it. And I know this sounds like a lot, like it's a lot. We've got to have like 50 volunteers. I've got to have like 5, 10, 50 people on my staff. No, they don't. Oftentimes when you start, you are doing everything yourself. Like it was just the three of us. I was the director of administration. Then I had my friend Lisa, who was the executive director. And then I had Charlie Resto, who was the director of operations. I say I had, but we all were working together with the nonprofit to restore the cemetery. So as you can see, we made it do what it do while it do with what we had. So do the best you can with what you have. Enlist the help of volunteers, get your family and friends to help you because this is how you're going to have to start out. You're not going to start out with a big staff. You're not going to start out with a list of like volunteers accessible to you, but I guarantee you that if you stick with me on this channel, we're going to talk about all of that, how to get that help you need, the proper forms to make sure you are protecting your nonprofit while you're doing this. Volunteers can get injured or what have you. And the one person cannot know it all. And I'm going to tell you right now, I will let you know that I know what I know, but I also know what I don't know. So I will be enlisting the help of others. I'll be providing links to other YouTubers who bring you educational information on how to run your nonprofit successfully, how to fundraise, how to set your budgets and accounting systems up. Because, hey, this is real. Because this is real. This is all of the things you're going to have to do to operate your nonprofit.
Rule number three, never tell someone that you own a nonprofit because you cannot own the nonprofit.
Now, I want to point one thing out. I'm saying your nonprofit. Please know that nonprofits are not owned by an individual. It's not like a for-profit where you own that business. You do not own a nonprofit. But you're starting it. You're incorporating it. You are the incorporator. But just know that you don't tell people, hey, I own this nonprofit. No, I have started a nonprofit and it is blah, blah, blah. It says restore cemeteries. Forgive me for my voice. It's just a little off a little bit today.
Rule number four, y'all, just get it started. Don't keep hesitating, wondering if I'm doing the right thing, if it's the right time, do I know enough, have I learned enough? If you haven't seen my video, just plant the seed. Please watch it. No, just get it started.
So here we are at the point to where we are going to be completing your Articles of Incorporation for the state. And that's to incorporate your nonprofit at the state level. And what that does is it protects you legally from anything that could happen. So you're making sure you're set up at your state. That legalizes it. It also protects your nonprofit. And I'm in North Carolina. And so the form is called Articles of Incorporation. It could be called something different in your state, but I'll take you through the process because it's the same scenario.
Rule number five, please don't pay someone to complete the Articles of Incorporation for you. You can do it yourself. Save your money. If you have any questions about how to complete it, just watch my video, How to File Nonprofit Articles of Incorporation, step by step for 501c3 approval.
One of the most important things I can tell you right now is know that you do not have to go to a site that says, we'll incorporate your nonprofit for you. Or, hey, we've got all the forms you need to incorporate your nonprofit, but you have to pay a certain amount to have access to that form. Then you complete that form on their website and then it gets all done. You don't have to do that. That's just an extra charge that you're incurring that you do not have to incur. For instance, to incorporate in North Carolina as a nonprofit corporation is $60. It could be even less in your state. So if you're paying or you're thinking about using a site, I cannot mention names, but if you're thinking of using a site to incorporate your nonprofit to access those forms, then you're going to pay them a fee a little over and beyond what your state would charge you. That filing fee, again, is $60 in North Carolina. Do not do that. For instance, it's your Secretary of State's office. Mine is North Carolina Secretary of State. So all you have to do is Google Alabama Secretary of State's office or whatever. And you can maybe even Google Alabama Secretary of State's office forms or nonprofit forms, whatever. Just go to your state's website and you're just going to access their forms. Those forms are out there for free. The only thing you have to do is complete it and pay that filing fee.
Rule number 6, don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid. I got you. Just watch the videos and we're going to do it together. Don't
be afraid. You can do this. All you have to do is read and comprehend. And all of us in school, in high school, I'm not even talking college, we had to take English and we did a lot of reading and we had to take a lot of comprehension tests. So that's all you have to do. But I'm going to walk you through the form for North Carolina. It's not a guessing game. Every form has instructions with it. So the Articles of Incorporation form to incorporate your nonprofit at the state level. Again, I will be talking about North Carolina. Just know, instructions are attached. So if you have a question about what something means or what are they exactly asking for me here, just go to the instructions that are attached and just read. It'll tell you. But yeah, just know that you can do it. You do not have to be afraid, nervous. You really can't break it, guys. Like if you do something wrong and you submit the paperwork, the state will let you know. They'll email you. Say that you want to be Pretty Paws Foundation Incorporated. When you complete your paperwork, and I'll go over this, you got to be very, very exact with your state. You cannot make any error. You've got to be very exact and consistent, concise. If you, for instance, put Pretty Paws Incorporated on one form, just know that if you spell out incorporated, you cannot then abbreviate it on the next page. I mean, you have got to be really concise, so you can't make any errors, but no worries. The state will let you know if something is not concise or consistent, and they will email you, and then you can just correct it and send it back to them. You just got to be timely on that correction. You can't wait a month, 3 months later down the road and think they're going to still have your paperwork. You're going to lose your money that way. So just always be responsive, quick to respond. And you'll, as we get into your 501c3 tax-exempt paperwork, it's going to be the same thing. You got to be very precise. We'll go into all of that. If there's something that comes back to you from the IRS, you've got to be quick to respond. The big deal here is not to lose your money. So again, if you did not get your checklist in the last video, please just click the link below and you can grab that checklist.
Last but certainly not least, the nonprofit's name. Do not complete your Articles of Incorporation without first checking with your state to make sure the name that you have chosen for the nonprofit is available.
Before all of this, you do need to have your name. Before you go into incorporating your nonprofit at your state level, you do need to have your name. So you need to be thinking about what do you want to name your nonprofit? And I will include a link below of a website that will kind of help you out. Like you can just type in pretty paws, and it'll just kind of throw in a whole lot of different names that you could maybe feed off of. You may not select those, but you can just feed off of. The other thing I want to make sure you do once you get your name, before you even start completing this paperwork that we're about to go over, make sure that you go to your state's website, Secretary of State's website, and do a business search on that name, because you don't want to name your nonprofit something that's in paperwork and there's a nonprofit that's already named that. The state's going to reject it. So you definitely want to make sure that you do a business search on that name at your state level. This is not nationwide. This is at the state. That's the most important. That's where you want to make sure that the name is available at the state level. If you decide you want to have a website, I highly recommend it. You need a website. And then we're going into the paperwork that you will need to incorporate at the state level. So let's go.